Good afternoon. Introduce my name is Mariani Cindy. I'm from class 10 Science 5. Today I will present about narrative text. Narrative text is a story that is stressed in the past sentence. Narrative text tells an imaginative story or a modified real story and is arranged through a sequence of events that occurred in the past. The main purpose of narrative text is to entertain the reader or listener with an interesting story. Generic structure of narrative text. There are four generic structure of narrative text, namely 1. Orientation. It is the opening part of narrative text story. This section introduces the character in the story and the setting of the story, which includes the setting of place, time, atmosphere, and social circumstance. 2. Complication. This section contains the problem that occur in a story. In more detail, complications are further divided into 3 parts, namely listing action. Problems are starting to arise. Climax. The pinnacle of trouble. Falling action. The tension of the problem begins to decrease and begins to find a solution point. 3. Resolution. This section contains the completion or ending of narrative text story. A story can be closed with a happy ending, sad ending, or cliffhanger. 4. Reorientation. Usually contains a conclusion or a moral message. This reorientation is optional because it does not always have to be in a narrative text. The types of narrative text. 1. Fairy tales. 2. Folktale or folklore. 3. Legend. 4. Myth. 5. Science fiction. 6. Romance. 7. Horror story. 8. Fable. 9. Sea story, and more. Language rules of narrative text. 1. Simple past tense. 2. Action verb. 3. Saying and thinking verb. 4. Conjunction of time. 5. Adjective and noun. And 6. Noun. I will tell you about a legend type narrative text in detail. Lake Toba. Lake Toba. Once upon a time, there was a man who was living in North Sumatra. He lived in a simple hut in a farming field. He did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. One day, while the man was fishing, he caught a big golden fish in his trap. It was the biggest catch he ever had in his life. Surprisingly, this fish turned into a beautiful princess. He fell in love with her and proposed her to be his wife. She said, "Yes, but you have to promise not to tell anyone about the secret that I was once a fish. Otherwise, there will be a huge disaster." The man made the deal and they got married, lived happily, and had a daughter. Few years later, his daughter would help bringing lunch to her father out in the fields. One day his daughter was so hungry and she ate his father's lunch. Unfortunately, he found out and got furious and shouted, "You damned daughter of a fish!" The daughter ran home and asked her mother. The mother started crying, felt sad that her husband had broken his promise. Then she told her daughter to run up the hills because a huge disaster was about to come. When her daughter left, she prayed. Soon, there was a big earthquake followed by non-stop pouring rain. The whole area got flooded and became to a lake. She turned into a fish again, and the man became the island of Samosir. So, many presentations that I can show. Sorry if there are mistakes or shortcomings. Thank you.